Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording Thursday, January 9th, talking about Jayson Tatum because despite his quiet nature and lack of desire to be in the spotlight, his name is constantly there. And it was Brandon Jennings' fault this time because he's on an episode of Gil's Arena, which is Gilbert Arena's podcast, which is just terrible, and said that Jayson Tatum's the softest Celtics superstar of all time. And Arenas actually disagreed with him. But regardless, this conversation is stupid and useless and everything wrong with NBA coverage. But shout out Brandon Jennings for giving everyone content for 2 days.
So Gilbert Arenas has assembled the brightest bunch of former NBA stars to talk about basketball and talk about guys in the NBA. And you mentioned it, Tatum is the latest guy in the crosshairs. I feel like Gilbert has consistently been an anti-Celtics guy. I feel like I consistently see him kind of trashing the Celtics, which is like whatever. Like people have a right to their opinion or takes or whatever it is to drive content, to drive engagement and all of that. But to say Tatum is the softest, so soft I won't even pronounce the T, by the way, softest superstar in Celtics history, it's kind of crazy because the guy plays. So here's the thing about it. I don't know how much you looked in the roundtable chat today, Jack. Probably not at all. Nope. So Cam, Mr. T, and I were having a little chat about this, and it is crazy to put the soft title on Jayson Tatum because Jayson Tatum has a resume of, first and foremost, doesn't really miss time, knock on wood, right? Very durable, wants to play every game, hates to sit out. 2, for the most part, except for the day he turned his ankle, and by the way, stayed in the game, shows up in these go home situations. The game sevens, the record amount of points in a game 7, which I think might have been broken last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think somebody outscored him, but he had the record if he doesn't still have it. I don't know why I think that. And then the game 6 in Milwaukee when their back was against the wall. You name it. Tatum, I mean, he was a rookie. He was thrown into the spotlight, leading the team to a game 7 against LeBron. Like, he's showed up in all of these massive playoff moments. He had a rough finals against Golden State. Even the closeout game against Dallas last year, he was really good. So good that it almost swayed the finals MVP vote after Jalen had clear, like, incredible performances throughout the series. To be like, yeah, Tatum is soft because he didn't win finals MVP is crazy. Now, what's not crazy, and I won't go too much into this, is to be like he's the softest of all the Celtics superstars, but that's only because all these other dudes that have come before him have crazy, like, going through it, right, Jack? Bill Russell had to fight for civil rights off the court. Bird, psychopath that was so psycho that he hurt his back trying to do his own driveway because he wouldn't let somebody else do it. Pierce, stabbed 13 times, played every game. Garnett, psychopath, and so on. The real issue with this is that all these other guys are just so above and beyond. So if you want to put that on them, fine. I think there are other guys throughout Celtics history that have been superstars that aren't all-time greats, though. And that's where this becomes very unfair. But soft is a bad title for Tatum as it is.
I know this isn't what you're saying. First off, I fucking hate that we have to have this conversation. I hate that this is a video we're making. I hate this. This sucks. I genuinely don't want to talk about this because I think it's the dumbest thing.
You don't
ever.
like to give it light.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. What is soft? What does that, who fucking cares? Do you want somebody to stab Tatum so he can be harder? Like, that's the stupidest fucking shit I've ever. And I know that's not what you're saying, but this is the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my fucking life. What are we? Why does somebody have to be tough or soft? He just won a fucking championship. There is no fucking tough or soft
You
or,
win
or
finals
hard.
MVP.
Like, who cares? Brandon Jennings' argument to Drew Hanlon was have him win MVP this year. That tells you how much he cares about actual success in the NBA, because this dude just won a fucking championship and that's not good enough. Win MVP. How is that more important? He won a title. He scored more points in the playoffs in his rookie season than Brandon Jennings did in his entire fucking career. And he's gonna call him soft? Why do you have to be this like stupid whatever ideation of what a tough guy is to win in the NBA? You don't. You just objectively don't. No one's calling Nikola Jokic soft, but I wouldn't call him fucking Kevin Garnett or whatever. He doesn't give a shit. He's quiet and he wins on the court. That's what Tatum does. No one called Tim Duncan soft. He didn't do anything outlandish or ridiculous. He won being quiet. Steph Curry, is he tough? Why is he tough and Tatum's not? What does he do that's different? I just think it's a stupid fucking conversation no one cares about. Joe Mazzulla went on the radio today and said this is one of those times where you got to use the coin, which is you should get a certain amount of coins every year where you're allowed to fight someone. And so he says he wishes Tatum could beat the shit out of Brandon Jennings, basically. I think this whole thing is stupid. I think softness and toughness is in the same category as having aura. I think it's completely useless. I think it's completely stupid. It has nothing to do with on the court, because anybody who actually watches basketball can see the impact Jayson Tatum has on the court. And soft and tough is a completely useless conversation. And I hate that we're making this video, but it's news, kind of. I think it's the dumbest shit of all time.
That was an excellent rant, Jack. Well done. You beat me to the punch on aura, by the way. I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. It's just like they're just looking for something else. I think aura is way dumber than soft, tough, whatever. I think toughness has some value. I don't necessarily think it matters.
And what's toughness? I'm not trying to go at you because I know you're toughness? Not like arguing for it. Yeah, what's toughness? Why isn't Tatum tough? Play devil's advocate.
I'm not
here.
saying
I know you do. I know, but I'm asking you to play devil's advocate. What would make Tatum not tough? Because he didn't get stabbed. Because he's not this big bully on the court. Like, why does that matter in any sense at all to winning?
I don't think Tatum is not tough.
I know you don't. I'm asking
you to make an argument that Tatum's not tough. I think first and foremost, I think it's out the window this year. If you really wanted to make the argument the last couple of years, you could have said it. Could have said when he went to the finals and didn't perform well, you could say that's not toughness, wasn't ready for the moment, blah, blah, blah. I still don't think it was valid. I think before this year, I don't think he went to the basket enough. And if he did go to the basket, he wasn't as good at finishing as he's gotten to be. Maybe you could say that's soft or not tough, but I don't really agree with that.
Yes. I think my argument isn't with Jennings is trying to make an argument that has nothing to do with the basketball being played on the court, which is why I think it's stupid. Because he is not saying he's not tough because he doesn't go to the basket, or he doesn't do this, or he doesn't do this. He's saying he's not tough because he's not Kevin Garnett or Kobe or Michael Jordan. Who fucking cares? No one cares. Everyone thinks
made fun of for wanting to be Kobe.
Everyone thinks
the guy.
Everyone thinks Ant is the closest to that right now, and that dude's a fucking loser. Right? Luka, they think Luka's this tough guy because of his mentality. He hasn't won shit. Like, what is the point? You have two guys
mentality, not playing
back-to-back seasons. I think it's just because he yells a lot when he makes game winners. I don't know. People, it's a completely objective and subjective, it's completely subjective viewpoint that people just make up nowadays, and they're ignoring the fact that the last two superstars to win an NBA championship, convincingly, by the way, have done it without having to be Kevin Garnett or Kobe, which I'm not trying to slander those guys in their play. They were great and it worked for them, but that's not how it has to work for everybody. And people just like it because it's I think toughness in the way he is arguing it is the same thing as aura. And I think it's stupid.
I think toughness is valuable though. Like I'm not now, like before what I was going to say is I think Tatum's tough.
Not
think
his definition is my point.
No, they're not really talking about it in an objective way. Like, it is an opinion thing, but there is like you're going to show up every game. That's toughness. Tatum plays every fucking game if he's allowed to.
But what I'm saying is their definition and their belief of what softness and toughness is has nothing that actually has to do with what it actually is. And that's where I have a problem with what they're trying to fucking argue. Because like you said, toughness is playing every night, showing up for your team, taking responsibility and doing everything your team needs. Work ethic. And Tatum does literally all of that, every single part of it. He embodies that. He has embodied his entire career. But their definition of softness is because Tatum is just a quiet guy who puts his head down and does the work and doesn't do anything outlandish, because they think that in their brain dead minds, you can only be successful if you are shit talking and not friends with anybody and have this Mamba mentality, which I think is the dumbest shit and has ruined the way people think of basketball. I think it's the most brain dead thing I've ever heard in my life.
I wonder if this all stems from the Celtics just being good. Like, not that people are like sick of them. It's just more of like they're mad because Tatum has a good team around him. I think that's part of it too.
Maybe, but
as good as Minnesota was, like as a unit last year, and the way they were connected and they were good defense and everything, you can't compare that roster to like the Celtics. And people are so impressed with Ant because he overachieved. And I think when you overachieve, people will have a lot more respect for you. I think that's why Tatum has been on this national scale, national spotlight, whatever you want to call it, for so long because he overachieved. When he was a rookie in the playoffs, he went toe to toe with LeBron. They should have won. They didn't. They didn't finish the game, but they were there. They were at the finish line. They just didn't cross it to get to the finals when he was a rookie. When Kyrie and Hayward went down with injuries, and he was the guy. I mean, it was a very great team effort from the Celtics. Make no mistake, everybody had moments in that playoff run, but Tatum was the emerging star in that because of his poise and character and lack of fear for the moment on a big stage. That's incredible. He doesn't run from it. When the Celtics struggled in that 2020, 2021 year, you didn't hear a bunch of stuff about Tatum's getting cold feet and wants to leave and there's pressure in the front office to make moves. Like, that wasn't a thing.
I think the way that this is being discussed and the way that the Gills Arena show and a lot of other talk shows is the worst thing that has happened to NBA coverage. And the worst part is I can't even blame them because that's what people click and that's what people enjoy reading about. And I think it has more to do with the fact that a lot of NBA fans are a bad word and really stupid. And I can't it makes me so angry because
Jack, near
I'm not
breaking point.
I'm not saying we're the smartest show in the world. Of course not.
We're
But
not
I
trying
do
to be.
there's a difference
Also.
between like just I don't even know the right word. Just spreading this vitriol and bullshit and hatred for the sake of it, right? Like you don't have to have a take. You don't have to shit on players just for the sake of it. Jayson Tatum just won a championship, and all we've heard since they won a championship was, "Wow, this guy sucks." And I think it's really fucking stupid. And so I think this whole toughness, softness thing is absolutely ridiculous, coming from a guy who is apparently desperately trying to cling on to relevancy at this point. He played 9 years in the NBA. His crowning achievement was third place in Rookie of the Year voting, and he made the playoffs 4 times. So you get to speak on softness? Shut the fuck up. I think it's so brain dead. It's so stupid, but I don't know anything else. You can wrap up video. I think this is the dumbest conversation. This is the dumbest conversation we've had to hear since, oh my God, Tatum shot poorly in the playoffs. He sucks, which annoyingly was like a few months ago.
The Team USA stuff was worse. Because that's when, I mean, Carmelo went on his show and was like, oh, he doesn't have aura. No Larry Carmelo?
You're right. That was just bad too.
Tatum, listen, I've written 2 Celtics blog articles this year about essentially the same thing. And these performances from Tatum came at almost identical points. The first time on opening night against the Knicks, he spent the whole summer getting clowned and made fun of, and everyone's talking shit about him because he got benched on Team USA. You have Melo saying he doesn't have aura. He comes out and has this incredible performance against the Knicks. Missed like 4 shots on his way to 37 points. It just eviscerated the team that everybody spent the summer having a circle jerk over because they're so fun and how can you not love them? And they're New York basketball is back. They're going to beat Tatum and the Celtics because they're soft. Guy comes out, shuts everybody up the first time he gets an opportunity. How is that not fucking tough? Are you kidding me? Anyways, we'll wrap it up there. Listen, I like to make fun of Tatum as much as the next guy, but it's more of just out of jest. I think he's incredible, but it's just like what we have. I have to make fun of something. So anyways, if you want to see me make fun of Tatum more, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. We're here every single day. New stuff going up. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps, which will be up tomorrow, are up the morning after each game. And other videos like this one are up in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All of our pods and game recaps are up there. So if you give us a follow, you'll find them right in your feed. Leave a 5-star review, leave a comment. It helps us a lot, helps with the algorithm, help more people find us if you think we're good. You can find us via email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Tell us what the next made-up stat should be that people say that Tatum doesn't have. I'd love to know. hbtcpod@gmail.com. The socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jackson NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.